It is construction season in Southwest Idaho, and it's time for our annual tour. We found one spot where you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different cranes. We're going to show you these projects and more. This is progress on the expansion of the St. Luke's Regional Medical Center campus in Boise. This is a big project, $1.1 billion, almost $1.2 billion, to expand the existing hospital facility along Bannock Street in downtown Boise, near Fort Boise. You're familiar with it. If you've lived here a long time, you might have been born here. This project will add a new 9-story tower adjacent to the existing tower with 180,000 square feet of new space, 80 new beds, 9 new operating centers and operating rooms, and more. As you can see, work has progressed here. They closed down Jefferson Street along here. That was a bit contentious a few years ago. Jefferson Street's gone. In fact, down there, you can see that's where the street was. No longer. The hospital expanding into that space over here. This is actually kind of 2 projects. So the first is the expansion of the medical facility, but then in this area, there's actually going to be a new office plaza building that will cantilever over First Street and connect with the parking garage, which is where I'm standing right now. A big change here, a lot of new square footage. It's really part of a multi-year plan. You probably remember the Children's Pavilion building over here and the Sky Bridge were built first, and then the hospital expansion next. And you can see some of the work has begun to link the new and the old buildings, and mostly subterranean work. We'll see this start to go skyward with latent construction crews here in the not too distant future. This is a long-term project. I mentioned it started over a year ago and won't be complete until 2029. So several years hence before all this gets done. Major construction of a full city block. It's the St. Luke's expansion in Boise. Along 4th Street between Bannock Street and Idaho Street. This is one of the more unique projects to go up in Boise in a while. This is a dual tower project from Alquist Development and ICCU. This project has been kind of spinning along for several years and got going about a year ago. And as you can see, there's 2 towers here. The one on the left, which runs along Bannock Street, will be a condo tower with 64 for-sale condo units. As we've reported, this was initially going to be apartments and then switched to condos. You can see it's already topped out the kind of unique roof line there. And the other tower will be an office component. It's going to have offices for Idaho Central Credit Union, which is now called ICCU. We'll have a Boise branch of the co-working space Kiln, which you might be familiar with from Eagle Road and Meridian, and then some additional office space. The podium here, the parking garage goes up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. Quite a bit of parking here. The ground floor will contain a new branch location for ICCU. There used to be an ICCU branch on this site, right kind of in here, that they tore down, and then a parking lot behind it. So there'll be a new ICCU branch, and then they plan to also have a new sushi concept from the folks behind The Lively. This is a project known as the Bannock at 4th and Bannock in downtown Boise. At 9th and State, this is an empty lot. This used to be the Idaho Wheat Commission building, which sat in here, you'll remember. It was torn down, and construction is supposed to start on a replacement for this building. It would be a new 4-story building with office space for the Idaho Wheat Commission and several other agriculture advocacy agencies around the state. Right now, progress not started, but the building torn down, and this is the future site of the Idaho Wheat Commission building in Boise. No VIP tour today, but this sign indicates that the Broadstone Saratoga at 12th and Grove is getting closer to becoming a reality. This is a 7-story apartment complex, and it's from Alliance Residential. Interesting, because when it was first proposed, it was going to be 1 building across the whole block for about 300 apartment units. City of Boise said, nah, we want you actually to keep the alley between the buildings open. And you can see it right there. And so they made them kind of sort of cut a hole in the plan. So it's really 2 apartment buildings. The southernmost building of this $100 million project it looks mostly done, but they are still working on the northernmost building. You can see, not even done with the outside yet. So we don't have an opening date. This is the 3rd year that our construction tour that we do each spring has featured this. The first year they had just started, last year they were well underway, and now it does look like we're getting close. And obviously if they're doing tours, residents will be moving in the not too distant future. This is the Broadstone Saratoga from Alliance Residential. We have the wide angle out, and I'm actually standing very close to this project. This is the new AC Hotel Element by Westin project at the corner of 10th and Grove, and I'm like right at the corner of 10th and Grove here. This is a 14-story hotel. 14 stories is a lot, and it is very imposing on this block, as you can kind of tell. I'm making it a little exaggerated by getting so close, but if you are on the sidewalk, you will see how big this is. It's a dual brand project. It's going to have about 270 hotel rooms. It will be the largest hotel in Boise by number of hotel rooms, leapfrogging the Grove Hotel. Riverside Hotel in Garden City still has more rooms, but if we're just talking about Boise proper, we'll have the most rooms. Ground floor will have lobby space for, again, the 2 hotel projects. Penbridge Lodging of Eagle is behind this, but we'll have the kind of the national brands on it. And then about 3 levels of parking, and then there's some conference rooms and hotel rooms above that. It is the AC Hotel by Marriott, Element by Westin from Penbridge Lodging in downtown Boise. At 16th Street and State Street, you might remember the old gas station that was right here. Last branded was 76 Gas. Now a new 7-story apartment complex is going up with some ground floor retail. This is the End Lofts project. This 7-story building, like I mentioned, will have about 104 studio units, and 38 of those will be at affordable rates made possible by tax credits, with the rest at market rate. This project had been proposed quite a while ago and stalled, but will add quite a bit of density here. This is right next to the Albertsons project, the original Albertsons at 17th and State. This is the End Lofts at 16th and State in Boise. At State Street and Arthur Street, this is Wilson Station. This project is pretty much wrapped up. This is a City of Boise land bank project. The City of Boise owns this land, and a private developer was contracted to build this apartment complex, which will have about 100 affordable units, which will add some additional affordability here along State Street. You might remember this was the old Smokey Davis Meats site. The Ada County Highway District eventually acquired this for the reconfiguration and widening of State Street right here. There was some back and forth and some lawsuits filed over that. Eventually, the City of Boise took control of part of the property and has built Wilson Station. So this project kind of goes down here quite a ways along Arthur and then along the State Street frontage. Taft Elementary here right in the area. But Wilson Station is wrapped up and should be opening soon at Arthur and State in Boise. At the corner of 23rd and Fairview, you might recognize the Boise Car Upholstery building. This business closed a few years ago. We've gotten a lot of questions. This building will remain. It's currently seeing its parking lot used as staging for an expansion of the New Path housing project. The City of Boise opened the original New Path back in 2018 with about 45 units. Now this expansion, it's really a new building, but right next door, will add 95 units for chronically homeless people, being funded by about $5.5 million in gap financing, and it will wrap around the Boise Car Upholstery building, which again will remain. But the New Path Community Housing going up at 23rd and Fairview in downtown Boise. Here's another one of those cranes swinging in the air, this one above the CapEd Credit Union YMCA in downtown Boise. This project, I will admit, we shot a few weeks ago, as these take a little bit of time. It wasn't vertical, and so we stopped to shoot it again, and the steel is in the air. We'll move from the old YMCA building right across the street to this new location. Now, this was supposed to be a part of a multi-block project that was going to include the Y, senior housing and a parking garage, some affordable housing on this site, a nonprofit jewel box type project here, and then redevelopment of the old YMCA site. Most of that's kind of fallen away, and what we're going to be left with is the new YMCA. The Capital City Development Corporation owns the lot behind the Y, where that kind of brown and sage green building is. That building will come down, and they plan to build ground floor retail with some space for St. Luke's and others, and then a parking structure above that. We're starting to see that move through entitlements. But the CapEd Credit Union building downtown at 11th and State, well underway. This is the future park at Expo, Idaho. You can see the grandstands for the long defunct Les Bois Park there. More on that in a minute, but a brand new park is going in. This thing is going to have a lot going on. More than 10 miles of trails, which will connect to the Boise River Greenbelt. They're going to do hills and valleys. There'll be play areas for kids, skate park, zip line. There's a lot going on here as they redevelop this site using American Rescue Plan Act funds that was authorized under the Biden administration. About $54 million will be used for that. This project is from Ada County, which of course owns the Expo Idaho land. A second part of this project will be to redevelop the grandstands at Expo Idaho into a stadium-like experience for a Boise Minor Pro soccer team, and then some additional soccer fields out here as well. We'll get a drone up maybe later this summer and show you from the air. But this is a big project. It's the park at Expo Idaho in Ada County, right next to Garden City. We're out here at the Boise Airport. This is the new rental car parking garage from the city of Boise. McIlvain Construction is the contractor on this. This garage is going to go up in 2 phases. This is the first phase, as you can imagine. This will be what you see in larger cities with rental car parking. And then the second phase will be what they call a ready return garage, and that's where the rental cars will go to be serviced, get their gas and oil changed, get washed up, and then be ready to go back into service. A lot of parking garages going on out here. Out there in the distance you see, that is the new employee garage. In our last construction tour we talked about this, now complete. And then behind me, I'm standing right at the edge of the long-term parking garage. You might remember that they expanded this. That project is also done, but a lot of parking garage work going on out here. This summer they're going to close a runway at the airport to do a bunch of work on the air side here. And then the next big exciting project, which we'll talk about here in the coming years, is a new concourse. So there will be a new concourse to expand the airport. So you'll be seeing that as we get later in the decade. This is the rental car parking garage at the Boise Airport. Now we're on campus at Boise State University, and this is the site of a new residence hall that's under construction. The state of Idaho and Boise State University, of course, responsible for this project, which will add quite a few new student beds. It kind of wedges in here. You've got the Albertson Library over here to the west. The river and the Greenbelt are straight behind the building, and then you have you can just see the top of Extra Mile Arena there. And so this building really just kind of wedges in. A year ago when we were here, they had just started work on this, and now most of the exterior is done. Still some windows to go in and some of that work, a little bit of brickwork to be done. But the student residence hall at Boise State set to open this fall, a new place for students to rest their heads on campus at Boise State. Okay, we are used to cranes in Boise, but are we used to cranes in a stadium? No, we're not. This is the North End Zone project at the stadium on campus at Boise State. And this started shortly after the bowl game this year. And they are well in progress removing the seats on the north side, taking those out. They're going to replace them with luxury suites. And then they're going to connect to the Blameyer Center here with a new sort of multi-purpose space. On game days, it can be used by fans and spectators. And then on the rest of the time, it's going to be used by student athletes. And for the first time, the stadium will connect all the way around. The concourse will go all the way around the stadium. And of course, already does that on the south side. Now it will do it on the north side. This project is going to continue through the football season. I don't think the crane will be in the stadium, but we'll continue through the season, and then I hope to wrap up in early September of next year. This is the renovation project for the north end zone at Albertson Stadium at Boise State. That is the existing Warm Springs Golf Course clubhouse out here in East Boise. This is the new one. This is a nearly $10 million project. It's been going on for a while, right on the green, but we actually biked here, which I think will be a popular activity. This facility cost just about $10 million, funded partially by a $3.5 million donation to the city of Boise. It's somebody who had actually donated to the city before and wanted to see a clubhouse facility here. This is gonna have seating for 200 people. It's got an event space, outdoor patio seating, and new golf cart storage. The rest of the money will come from the city's general fund, but will be paid back over time from revenue from the city's golf courses. I think this will be a destination here, even if you're not golfing. They'll be serving food and drink here in a fairly nice setting right on the Boise River Greenbelt. This is the new Warm Springs Golf Course clubhouse.